What's up, guys? Welcome back to T Cube. This is Trade Travel Truth. This is Rich coming at you on what is this, Wednesday, May 6th. Yeah. It's a good day here. New England. It's kind of not too bad. I think 58, 60 degrees, what have you. Today we're doing a good one, as I say every day. We're going to do the number you need to never work again. It's less than you actually think. I've made my number a while ago. I still work. I'm going to still work. But let's get into this real quick. It's not that hard to figure out. People don't want to work, and there's ways to do it that you don't have to have that much money. So let's get into this. Please like, subscribe, and make some comments. God damn it. I'm just kidding. Everyone has been lied to about financial freedom actually costs, right? Financial advisors, the internet, your parents, they all give you the same answer. Save $2 million, grind for 30 years, and maybe you can retire. Yeah. I'm going to show you why that's wrong, and then show you the actual Robinhood account. I've shown you Robinhood account before, so I might link it up here. I'm just going to scroll through April's numbers real quick right here. So let's do that. Okay, cool. Last month I cleared over 41K. The month before that, over 20,000. One stock, one strategy, and I only have about 300K of my own money in there doing this. So what is your freedom number? I guess your freedom number. The first thing you need to do is figure out your freedom number. That's just the answer to one question. What does your life cost per month? I'm going to say mine's probably around 4,500, $5,000. In this example, I just bump it up to 7 just to have a buffer. If I move somewhere if I move to the Philippines or travel around there, you can live a lot cheaper. So that's something that I might consider in the future. But I'm really looking at Puerto Rico. No taxes down there, baby. And we'll make a video about Act 60. That's a good topic. All right, so be honest, be conservative, add a buffer. That's what I did. Mine is going to be $7,000. It's probably really 4,500 a month that I live off of, but I like being way conservative. Rent, food, travel, fund, everything with room to breathe. $7,000 times 12 is $84,000 a year. This is before taxes too. Just remember that. That's it. That's my freedom number, and my investments generate 84. If my investments generate 84K a year after everything, I'm free. No boss, no alarm clock, no office. I'm done. My job's pretty laid back as far as a lot of those things anyway. But there's always a little micromanager in there. The traditional math is broken. Here's what financial advisors tell you. The 4% rule. I don't know if any of you guys have heard the 4% rule. It's all over the internet. It's financial advisors tell you this stuff all the time. I'm not a big fan of the 4% rule. It sounds simple, right? Here's the problem. To generate $84,000 a year at the 4%, you need $2.1 million sitting in your index fund. So what a 4% rule is they tell you once you save 30 years of your life and you have hopefully $2 million in there, you can take 4% out a year. But that's a big kind of misconception because you're taking away your assets. You don't want to sell your assets, right? You never want to sell your assets, especially you got kids or something. You want to give them to them, and then they do the same thing, never sell them. But you got to teach these kids right, though. That's the problem. You give them these big portfolios, and they just blow it all. They don't continue your system. So also, 4% rule sucks because inflation, right? Inflation's probably closer to 10%. So you're just taking money out of your retirement and you're never putting anything back in and you're losing the 4%. Even if you're, their theory is your saving, your portfolio will generate 8%, because that's like the average on S&P, but 8% is still not, it's about inflation. You're about breaking even. 8 to 10%, I would say, is inflation. So this is why this whole theory doesn't really work, and it should probably stop being said by financial advisors, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, obviously. I'm not a big fan of those guys. Yeah, so you need 2.1 million if you want to take 4% out a year to live on $84,000 a year for however many years. And then another thing about the 4% rule is like how if you live a long time and you deplete your finances, right? The way I do it never depletes your finances. 2.1 million for $7,000 a month lifestyle. How long does this take the average person? 25 to 30 years minimum to save, right? And you're still paying taxes on those withdrawals on top of everything else. You don't have 30 years. You probably, I don't have 30 years. You probably don't either. Here's a better way. This is what I had to do because I lost everything at 50. There's another video how I had to start over from 50. I think it's called the Gen X comeback. So look at that one. My actual numbers, let me just show you instead of talking about it. March 2026. Here's my gross on Robinhood 20. Yeah, I'm not going to jump into. I'm just going to scroll through April and March real quick in the beginning, so you can see. I mean, if you want to pause it, you can, but I'm not making stuff up. Here's my. It's $22,300 gross. 20 grand 500 net after margin interest, so I pay margin interest, so I take a loan out. So that's why I'm able to do this, is I'm using other people's money to generate money for me. April 2026 was $43,000 gross, 41,200 net after margin interest. So 2 months, it's about $61,700. One stock, covered calls on Tesla. Year to date, I'm sitting at about 160 grand in realized gains, and it's only May. I used 300,000 of my own money to generate that, not 2,300,000. So let's talk about taxes because people always forget this. I'm going to be straight with you because most people skip this part. This income is real, but it's not all yours. Short-term option income gets taxed at ordinary income. As ordinary income. Depending on your bracket, you could be 22, 24, 32, or even higher. On 160 grand in gains, you could owe $40,000 to $50,000 come tax time. So you have to factor that into your freedom number. My $84,000 target actually needs to generate around 120 to net 84K after taxes. So yeah, I need to make 120 grand every year doing my trading if I want to hit that 84,000 after taxes. Here's the formula. Take your freedom number and divide by 0.7. 84,000 divided by 0.7 is 120,000 gross needed per year. That's your real target. Write that number down, then set aside 30% of every single month's income for taxes and don't touch it. I just put it. I have it in my my account. If I need it, I'll take it out. But I also want it working for me. Make sure it's liquid. So I have I can always. I have a huge buying power. So this is why I keep buying power very high. It's like on the sidelines. Don't touch it. Future you will be very grateful. Yeah, future you will be very grateful if you set money aside. How margin makes this work faster. Now here's where it gets interesting. My total Tesla position is around $900,000, but my own money in this is only $300K. So I use margin. It sounds like I'm borrowing $600,000. I'm not really because, it's probably like 500, but since I'm in one stock, they just sell the stock if it goes below a certain thing. So I have a lot of stock for buffer. I also keep it in it's at 61% buffer right now. So I'm pretty good. And then you can make money when Tesla falls. You can make money rolling covered calls down. So that is kind of another safety net too. And if I have to, I'll always sell some shares if it goes, say it tanks, it goes below 100, which I don't think it will, but if it does, I've already thought those scenarios out. So I'm not too worried about it. And, I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. Some people might not. So it's once you learn it inside and out, that's when your comfort level goes up or down. I use margin, borrow money from my broker to leverage up this position. I pay roughly $1,800 a month in margin interest. That's my cost of doing business. The covered calls I sell generate way more than that every single month. Think of it like borrowing at 5% to make 50%. The math works. So I'm borrowing actually it's below 5%. I think it's 4.25% is my rate, and I'm making way more than that on premiums. The math works, right? Obviously, the margin interest is tax deductible, so that's a bonus. So I can write off the taxes, which is probably, let's just say $2,000 a month. So 2 times 24,000 a year probably. So that's pretty good. Now, I'm not saying go max out your margin tomorrow, but there's a real risk here. But used correctly, it's a powerful accelerator. Again, I'm not telling you to go get margin. I'm just saying what I'm doing. I would 100% figure out the strategy that works for you most of the time and be very comfortable with that and know it inside and out. And I try to poke holes in my theory all the time. Every single thing I go, I actually ask ChatGPT before I roll a thing. Is this a good time to roll? Whatever. Sometimes 90% of the time I listen to ChatGPT. Sometimes I don't. Well, you actually need to start this, right? Everybody was like, how do you get this much money in there, right? You do not need to have $900,000 to do this. That's my levered up position. My actual skin in the game is about $300K, maybe a little bit more. Even without margin, 300,000 position is a volatile stock running covered. Even without margin, a $300,000 position in a volatile stock running covered calls can realistically generate $7,000 to $15,000 in income premium a month. After taxes and margin interest, you're hitting most people's freedom number, and you still own the stock the whole time. It's not gone. It's working. Yeah, so you just got to start investing in something and then learn options. And selling options is a lot less risky than buying. So April was a monster month. Tesla earnings sent implied volatility through the roof. Premiums were insane. That doesn't happen every month. I will never stand here and tell you every month looks like $43,000. March was 20,500 net, still great, but not April. The point isn't the home run months. It's that even the normal months clear my freedom number. Consistency beats perfection every single time in this strategy. The full freedom number formula. Step 1, figure out your monthly expenses. Be honest. Step 2, multiply by 12. That's your annual need. Step 3, divide by 0.7 to account for taxes. That's your gross target. Step 4, build cover call positions large enough to hit that number. So that's what I did. Obviously, you don't have to do my strategy. You can do, if you like day trading. I've tried pretty much everything. This is the less stress I've ever found. The least amount of stress I've found in the stock market. My number, 7,000 a month times 12 is 84,000. Divided by 0.7 is 120,000 gross target per year. And that's probably, it's probably less than that because I don't spend that much money. But I just buffered $7,000 a month is probably more like 4,000 to 5,000 a month. My portfolio generates that with 300,000 of my own money, not 2.1 million. The takeaway: the number you need to never work again is probably way less than you think. You don't need 2 million. You need the right strategy and enough capital to run it. The 4% rule is for people who don't know about covered calls or just don't know about finance really, and they just hear that 4%. It's so wrong, but whatever. Let people figure it out their own. I'm trying to tell people, but whatever. Figure out your number, gross it up for taxes, build toward it. That is it. That's the whole game. Drop your freedom number in the comments below. Let me know what you think your freedom number was. Mine's, 4,500 is pretty low. I don't have kids, never been married, that kind of thing, so I don't have very many bills. The only real bill is this car I'm sitting in here, and my company pays half of that when I'm working around here. Gross it up for taxes first. If this has helped you think about this differently, hit the like button, and it actually matters. Subscribe. And so just subscribe, like, comment, tell me what your freedom number is. And to 300,000, really, I just started investing in Robinhood in January of 2022. I might have put like a couple bucks in before, maybe like $100, but literally January 2022, and to my max in here has been like 336,000, and I did that December. So this is December 2025. So I put all that money in there and grew it January 2022, 2023, 2024, like 4 years. So it is possible to do it. You just have to cut your spending, put money in Robinhood, and keep just plopping it in there. And then, I wasn't doing cover calls the entire time because I just figured that out probably in the last two and a half years. I wanted to make that money work harder, so that's how I did it. Anyway, if you find this useful, please like, subscribe, all that stuff, and leave a comment about your freedom number. All right, adios, amigos, people.